Hey Mustangs, it's Miss Fitzgerald with your lesson on deciding where to divide. We're still working topic 8. This is lesson number 7. Our essential question for today is, how do we decide where to start dividing? When we look at that divisor and we look at the digits inside the division bracket, we want to know, where do I place the first number of my quotient? So let's take a look at a word problem. Callie has 152 craft sticks that she's going to use to make picture frames. If she uses 6 sticks for each frame, how many picture frames can she create? The operation we're going to choose to solve this problem is division. Why? Because we are dividing the 152 craft sticks into 6 groups. Excuse me, that's not right. We're going to divide them into groups of 6. Not 6 groups. We're looking for the number of groups, but we are going to divide the 152 by 6 to find out how many picture frames that she can make. Let's write our division problem. Divided by 6. All right. When we divide, we look at our divisor and we look at the digits inside the division bracket. The first thing I ask myself is, can I make a group of 6 out of the first digit, which is 1? Can I make a group of 6 out of 1? Well, we all know the answer to that is no. So I'm going to look at the first 2 digits in the division bracket, and I ask myself, can I make a group of 6 out of 15? The answer is yes. So I know that my answer is going to start above the 5 in the above the 5 digit in my division bracket. How many groups of 6 can I make out of 15? The answer is 2. I'm also going to put the letters for the division process over here. Divide, multiply, subtract, compare, and bring down, so that I remember my steps. I've divided 6 into 15, and I come up with 2. My next step is to multiply. I'm going to multiply the 2 in the quotient times my divisor, 6, and put that under the 15. My next step is to subtract. So I'm going to draw the line, make the sign, and subtract. 2 from 5 leaves 3. 1 from 1 is 0. My next step in the process is to compare. I compare the 3 I had left to my divisor. Is the 3 less than the 6? I want my answer to be yes, and it is. My next step is to bring down the next digit, so I bring my 2 down and place it next to the 3. I have finished the process, so I begin again. I go back up to dividing. And I ask myself, how many groups of 6 can I make out of the 32? The answer to that would be 5. My 5 goes up next to the 2 in my quotient, and I have finished dividing. My next step is to multiply that 5 times the divisor and put my answer under the 32. 5 times 6 is 30. I put the answer down. I have divided and multiplied. My next step is to subtract. I draw a line, make the sign, and do my subtraction. 0 from 2 leaves 2. 3 from 3 leaves 0. I'm going to compare now. I ask myself, is 2, what I have left over, less than my divisor of 6? Again, I want that answer to be yes, and it is. 2 is less than 6. So I can bring down the next number. But when I go up to my dividend, I have no more numbers to bring down. So what I'm going to do is express what's left over as a remainder. So my answer is 25 with a remainder of 2. So my answer to my question is Callie can make 25 frames, and she's going to have 2 craft sticks left over. All right. We're going to try another one together. Let's decide where to divide. We look at the front end numbers in our division problem, the 3 and the 1. The question I ask myself is, how many groups of 3 can I make out of 1? I can't make any. So I need to look at the first 2 digits of the number, which means that my answer is going to go, the first digit of my answer is going to go above the 6 in the quotient, the dividend.
Go.
All right, I'm going to ask myself how many groups of 3 I can make out of 16. I can make about 5 groups out of that. I'm going to put the 5 in the quotient, and got to put my steps up there again. Let's do that. Divide, multiply, subtract, compare, and bring down. Okay, I've done my dividing. Now I need to multiply. I'm going to multiply the 5 times the 3, and I'm going to put my answer under the first 2 digits in the dividend. 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, I have multiplied. Now I need to subtract. I draw the line, make the sign, and make my computations. 6 minus 5 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. I don't need to put that here. Now, my next step, I've subtracted. I'm going to compare. What I have left over is 1, and I need for that to be less than the 3. Is 1 less than 3? Yes, it is. So I can continue dividing. My next step is to bring down. I'm going to bring the 2 down next to the 1 that I had left over. Now, my next step is to go back and begin again. I'm going to divide 3 into 12. How many groups of 3 can I make out of 12? The answer would be 4. My next step is to multiply. 4 times 3 is 12. I'm going to subtract. 12 from 12 leaves me no remainder whatsoever. I still compare. Is what I have left over less than the divisor? It is. Now I ask myself to can I bring down another number? There are no other numbers in the dividend to bring down, so I am going to be done. I'm finished dividing that problem. These are 3 problems for you to try on your own. A couple things I'm going to ask you to do is to put the process on your paper. Divide, multiply, subtract, compare, and bring down, just as a visual reminder of what the steps are, and refer to this each time. Try to remember to ask yourself the questions along the way. You know, can I make a group of this out of that thing? And the only other thing would be to keep your numbers neat. Turn your paper sideways in your notebook and use those lines to line everything up like we did for addition and subtraction. And do your best. And remember, there's no failure in trying. The worst thing is to not try. See you tomorrow.